Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the messenger, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to become arrogant in the power that you have understood and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and in the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 245th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace, here on Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host here today, along with Mark and Elias, co-hosts. And I believe we're ready to present today's workshop with members of the Universal Council. So let's get the presentation up here and begin.
Hello, everyone. This is Jacko, UC Dutch. I send you a warm welcome to today's One Nation, One Planet, One Race for Justice and World Peace. I welcome all souls in, on, and beyond Earth. And I would like to start with a little story. It's a story of my life. When I finished first year school, there was a certificate that was written, and on that certificate it was said that Jacko should not look so much outside of the window. Although the squirrels and the birds in the forest outside were very interesting, the education would happen where the teacher is. And this comes out of a time as a young child. You don't have restrictions, you have daydreams. And Mashfaq was talking about this, and it came to my mind how beautiful these moments were, because you can leave the physicality, although you're in the physicality, but you're not so addicted to it. And then these daydreams came. Now, by this education system that we're following, this was restricted. They said that it is not good, although it in fact was the best that could ever happen. But they didn't understand it then. And nowadays, with the knowledge we have from Mr. Keshe, from the foundation, from all knowledge seekers, this changes. And this change will bring us further. We become knowledgeable in what we wish. And I think that is also very, very important, because now we come to the point where the soul expands, and the possibilities we get with this expanding, you cannot imagine what that means and what power in this situation lies. So don't hesitate, elevate, use your daydreams, go back to this situation, because it is important and it's our reality in our future. And in this reality lies the truth. And I think that is the big difference to what we had before. The truth on soul level, you cannot change. And you cannot say, yes, but I was thinking that. No, truth is the truth. And the soul knows that, and there's nothing else. So use the power of this understanding in your daily life. Elevate others. I started to say, don't hesitate, elevate. Use this in the positive way. We know what the ethos said, and as long as we stay in that, we don't have to be afraid. These new gates where Mr. Keshe is talking about are opening. In my case, I feel it. I use it in my dreams. I see it in my daily life. Your connection to other souls, the communication level changes, gets in a much, much more open way. And I think that is exactly where we're heading for with the using of the systems. In time, we will see this will expand in a way that we cannot imagine. Now, Mr. Keshe is talking about delivering the systems abroad. They will spread all over the world, and this will give an multiplying of the knowledge, a multiplying of the living, the fields, and the technology. And it's a wonderful thing we're heading to. So through the beauty of the soul of diversity, of the languages spoken on planet Earth, all souls are as equal, and all are as creators, as they are created in the image of the Creator.
Thank you, my
Thank
dear
you.
Jaco. Thank you so much, so much for your kind words and the beautiful dreams, daydream. We, as you know, when we used to say they used to say we are daydreamers, and they laugh at us. But now, the dreams, we are living in the dream, you know. And thank you. We all once. This is the creativity we have in within ourselves, you know, holding this creativity from inside. Nothing else we wanted that time, you know. So the still we do that, you know, a child like holding things. No, this is mine, like that, you know. So thank you. I am grateful.
It's up to us to relearn it.
Yeah.
They took it away with the system they had, and for them it was the best. But now for us, it's up to reverse it and to go back to the situation, because that is reality.
Yes, of course. That is reality. Well, what is happening, Jaco, is that when we they always, humanity or beings are ready to have this miracle, you know.
Yes.
In India, there are gurus and all that people, they talk about a miracle is coming, and suddenly then avatar is arrived. But then there is no miracle. There is no miracle. That was always within us. When they say miracles, they play with us. They play a game with us, play a game of illusion with us. We have to understand, as you said, Jack, what is the truth, the reality behind. So, and when we say this, that is the way the outburst of this dream come true, like the natural, as Jalal, beautiful teacher, says, we are all like this natural, so and universal. So this is always happening with us, always, as we are in touch. Growing up, we have been in touch with all this, as you are saying that, Jaco, don't see outside the window, but Jaco did. So do I. Thank you. As we are here, the dreamers are here. Thank you. Believed, trust is on the soul, the trust of the souls, you know, that creates this balance, that creates that balance. So because of, despite of all this imbalance condition that the players were playing, and we are in, and we are suppressed by that also, but this balance has that ultimately we have been in this love, able to be in this love, and now we are here in this knowledge, universal. And I thank you to Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, and I, from the core of my heart, that we are here and we are able to speak what we have experienced. And thank you to my Messiah, Shriman and Keshe, beautiful teacher, beautiful teacher, and all the teachers of Keshe Foundation. Thank you so much. Thank you, my dear Jaco.
Since Jaco brought up the window, looking out of the window and daydreaming, so let's try to see whether we can open our window to the reality of dreams, or the dream that is reality. We can say it either way, but you know, the physical world that we live in, and as we are finding out on our own, and also through the enhancement unit that is accessible right now to those who would like to have that access. So our dreams our reality, let's call it, this is the reality of the soul. We call it a dream, daydream, either way. It's the reality of our soul that we have access to. You know, sometimes there is a clarity to it. Yes, we feel it. And sometimes, you know, the physicality takes over and it gets a bit hazy. The window is closed, you know, the glasses are dirty, that kind of things. You know, some of the, you know, I remember when I was in school, you know, this is, you know, when the windows are closed, you know, the glasses are not as well taken care of and it's a bit foggy. So, you know, we are forced to look into the world of our classroom, a limited world. And in a way, the school metaphor, a school can be used as a metaphor. In a sense, what we have been taught in school, in the religious context, social context, you name it, these are conditioning, useful for a certain limited thing. But at the same time, they limit some of our capacities. You know, you can't do it. You know, we all have heard it. You can't do this. And this is a big part of our education. And if you start questioning, why can't I do this? Can't I do this? You know, soon, you know, you just can't. You know, too little. One of those things. You know, since we are all child at heart, so it's really these this child, rediscovering this child in a sense, or rather rediscovering our capacity as children. And this is an amazing thing. And I mean, we all were there once, and so it's not that hard to remember some of these things. You know, some have been buried for a while, but aren't they there? They're still there. So through the enhancement unit and through ourselves, we can open this window to a reality we now know we can operate in. It's not just we look through the window, we can step through the window into that reality. And that is the beauty of it. And soon that stepping through would be transportation or transmutation and all the other things that we are getting foretaste of. But we are stepping through this window into that reality. And we can step back in to the classroom and become physical again. But the window beckons the reality we all can operate in across the universe. And it's, I mean, that's what we have been dreaming about in our days, boring days in school, during our boring days in school. So, I mean, those are not, you know, useless things, and now that we know, these are things we're about to make it a part of our reality. So that beautiful window, open window is there. And the window has, you know, some additional things to it in the sense that, you know, when you may have to jump from the window, we may have a few more steps because of the enhancement unit to easily go into that world. And that's something that Keshe Foundation has done is because of our conditioning, we have been put in this room in the school, which is far from the reality. Now that we have the steps, we can step into this reality through and out of the window and going to be fun, and we can do things. And the important thing is that in this reality, we can operate in a way that the school itself can be changed, and we can have a new way of existing between the reality that we call physicality and the reality that we now know to be the dream. Thank you.
Exactly. Thank you, Mosfeq. I would like to add a little bit. Before I did the Universal Council membership, I was thinking, and one of the reasons it was right for me is that we don't need a pen, that we don't need the papers, because this is the world of feeling and not of physicality. And these windows are open. I feel that the process is running, in my case, in my body, in my soul. And this freedom we have in this situation, when we open up, when we release our soul, when we listen to the teachings, how Mr. Keshe explains how we can do it, and we start practicing it, it will be a wonderful world we're entering. And we all have the chance, we all have the freedom to choose. No one is forced, no one is judged in any kind of way. But those who get the chance and do it, we teach the others, and together we will reach the goal. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, my dear Jacko. Thank you. Thank you so much. So much, my dear Mosfeq. Thank you. All the love always. So beautiful words, so beautiful sharing. And of course, the system, the window that opened for us many, many years ago is now coming back in a way that in the giving position, in the service position, we want the new generation, even the new generation, all humanity to see through this window and change the perception that has been given us so much suffering. Like, the Newton sitting under the tree and the apple is falling and the teacher is shouting about this and that. I will say, like, this will change the way the system, the education system prepared beings to be in this trap. So as Jacko said, as Mosfeq said, that this is not, it is your will that you have to understand. And the time is now, and maybe this time is opened for us, and we have to be, conscious about this time period. Well, because there is a cycle going on about humanity, about Earth, about the cosmos, and we have to understand the way these cycles work. And this will not remain as it is, because as the dynamic position changes, as the universal unified field is always in action, so does the cycles also. So I wish all of us, all being, understand the collectiveness, the oneness, as in this way we can be in this one planet, one race, one nation for justice and world peace. So justice, there's no injustice, there's only justice anyway. So thank you so much. Rick, can we go to the next slide? My dear Mark, I welcome you for as the wishes. always the wishes, forever. Thank you.
Thank you. These are the wishes put together, I believe, by the Universal Council. Maybe they've come from others, I don't know. But wishing, to me, even though I've used it in my life before the Keshe Foundation, I always thought it was really for kids or children to make wishes. Any real person realizes if you want to get something done, you've got to roll up your sleeves and open the hood and see what's going on under there. And that's one way of working. The Universal Council is learning a new way, as we're all energies, creatures of energy, but also creatures of the matter state in a way. And of course, bringing the changes is what we're learning to do, but not doing it in the matter state. We're learning how to use our energies, our emotions, which is energy in motion, concentrating attention, intentions, on putting energies into things, the way we're elevating the world leaders on the energy level. We're not trying to schedule a meeting with them to bring peace to them or the understanding of peace. We're working through the energy state. And this is what we're being taught, that we're actually two or more beings in the same physicality. We can operate on the energy level, or we can operate in the matter state. We're very good at operating in the matter state, and now we're learning about our abilities to operate in the energy dimension. And of course, this is the way the universal community works, as they create everything they need from their wishes. So we're putting these wishes together. We're collectively stronger, adding our energies to them, and everyone can participate in adding their bit of energy that they have. So I'll just read the wishes, but this is the way the Universal Council is learning to work. And once we learn this, the Universal Council will be much more effective in bringing the change and seeing it manifest in the matter state. So I'll start with this wish. We, the Universal Council, wish all beings affected by actions of nature raise their souls, and from it have what is necessary to live and overcome their situation. As Mr. Keshe would indicate, our wish is our command.
I am present, my dear. Thank you. Eric, can we go to the next slide? There are 3 wishes.
I'll read the second wish. We, the Universal Council, wish for the elevation of the souls of all children to know and understand the new ways brought forward from the Creator. Hear our command.
Beautiful. I am present. I'm present, my dear. Now there's another wish. Yeah.
Okay, this is the final wish. But again, wishes are endless, depending on the needs that are brought forth. We, the Universal Council, elevate all souls for them to understand the process of understanding. My wish, our wish, is our command.
I'm present. Thank you.
And it does take a lot of understanding to understand, as we've heard in the teachings. But this is the way we're going to be operating. We're not going to be taking flights to go do things or contracting others to do it in the matter state, but we are going to change things through our field energies, or the expansion of the energies from our souls. And this is the way the Universal Council will work. And it's a very easy way to work. And it doesn't take a lot of energy to work this way, as if you had to do the same thing in the matter state. So I think it's a beautiful tool. The Universal Council will become more effective in this tool as collectively we put our energies together. We're much stronger. And as I said, I think in the future, as the Universal Council puts out wishes, the entire humanity will pick up that wish and help to bring this change. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much, my dear Mark. This, as you said, there's wishes are eternal. when we are like, life and living is so beautiful with these wishes. As the soul stands on your door and says, what is your wish, my dear? Like that. And we say the wish, and thus things started to manifest. And it's solely upon you and us that what we wish for. So this is the way we elevate all souls to create the peace, as my Messiah Shriman M. Keshe said. So there is always a wish, always, always. Thank you so much. Rick, can we go to the next slide? Yes, this is the 5 minutes of silence for the elevation, as we are talking about the wishes and the elevation of the souls. For the elevation of the souls of the 5+1 peace negotiators, the souls of the IAEA, all souls working for peace in Vienna, the soul of humanity, the souls of world leaders and religious leaders of planet Earth. And this is the beauty of it, that, as Marx said, this time we can elevate the soul as soul to soul talk, So this, for 5 minutes of silence, we are elevating again. And so the time start now. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you so, so much for the presence for all souls, for the elevation of all souls in need. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute. Rick, can we go to the next slide? Here, this is about the One City, One Center. Is Stefania here, Rick? No. Okay.
Don't see her right now. No.
I don't see it too, but maybe this is the time we can play the timestamps.
Okay, yes, of course.
Because Mr. Keshe is explaining there more about the One City, One Center, or the centers that are made all over the world.
Thank you, Jacko. Beautiful.
Okay, we can have a listen and look at that. So this is an excerpt from the 455th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. I believe that's correct.
Yes.
Okay, just to confirm.
Thank
you. Hopefully it's at the correct time. I'm not sure if it's the same recording that the one I have. So I'll play it and we'll see if it's correct. Okay, here we go.
And to be able to follow the process and to see it and to be able to expand the knowledge on it, to understand the process of understanding and how we do it, how we expand it, and how we will expand on it. We will bring the process and we will change the process, we'll add to it. And what I said before, I post you a copy of the writing of the report which we have received, that you can see this is what has come in. Same unit next door, my neighbor, per month, 25 days, $45. Now you see how the systems work. Now you see how the structure works. Now you see how we work in putting everything back together to be able to let you do the things first. When you can't do it, when we do it, we show the difference. The understanding of the work is understanding the process of the interaction of the field. How the fields interact and how the interaction of the fields creates the condition for achieving the new, what we call dimensions, the new totality, and at the same time, to understand how things can work. And what we teach, if you can follow, what we teach, if you understand it, how to follow, it brings that change. It brings that step. It brings that understanding of the process of interaction of the fields. Does not matter in a MAGRAP, in a flight system, and in the process of understanding the totality. What we do, what we set up, is now to understand the interaction of the fields. If we could enhance the energy by so much in the MAGRAP system, the same structure of understanding of the MAGRAP system is used in enhancement units, in the flight unit, in what we call the vision unit. And this process brings us the understanding of the totality. This brings us to understand how fields interact and what their interaction brings to which part, in a physical dimension or in the emotional direction or in the sense of the totality of the emotion and physicality together. Try to connect the brain center. Try to understand its position in the field and try to see what it brings you. Because it's not us anymore. The gift is free to all to access it. And we can pick up one by one. And in what we call transmutation to bring you here. The whole process is to create that satellite condition. We set up this structure this week is literally to connect with as much as we can across this planet. That when it comes to transmutation and transportation and mobile system, we already have established a line of connection. This is the reason for it. As we said, when you come into the system, you make a connection. Now the system is out there to establish that connection with everything. That when it comes to you, it is totally connected. It already has worked. As we said, if you remember in the previous teachings, when somebody comes in and says, I had no feeling, it didn't make any effect for me, we tell them to come back the second time. And out of all the 100+ people who went through the system, only 1 or 2 people, the second time and the third time, they say it does nothing to me. Then we have to find out what it doesn't do. Is in a way we've seen the people who come to confirm in a physical condition that they are in control and they decide what they receive. And in a way, if you don't want to go to the grammar, we don't drag you. We leave you till you're ready. Everybody else is gone. I should have gone with them too. In that process, we bring everything to be as it planned to be, a structure to be, and hopefully many of you start feeling, start connecting. And as I said, we are ready to go. We are just about setting everything up to go. The first enhancement unit will be start getting out this next few weeks. And then with it, we deliver the systems through Austria to all of you to be able to use it, to be able to fly with it, to be able to work the way we set up, like the magnets. We gave you the magnet 7 years. And now we show it the way we do it, does the same. Now the enhancement units. We will deliver the initial enhancement units to those who ordered it. If your structure is set up, and we start sending the units across. We have come, and we will come to an arrangement in complete with the American government in the next few hours, next couple of days. And the units to United States will go in. This is in response to what we've seen and the decision made we do. Once we come to agreement with the Americans in the coming couple of days, the enhancement units to United States will be released. The unit in Uruguay will go through. The Chinese who ordered the units and they found the refund, you have to show us you have a place to receive it. Within 48 hours, we deliver the first unit to you in Chinese, and the rest will come through. It's your responsibility, according to the contract you signed, to have the facility and the doctors and the scientists to monitor the changes. So those of you who ordered your enhancement unit, we start going through with the delivery of the first unit in the next 2-3 weeks, because the first units are built and we start using it accordingly. The units into Germany will be moved and we start the operation. As I said, putting the unit working yesterday has brought a lot of facts, how we had to change things. And in fact, I was not happy with what I saw in past 4 weeks happening in Tehran and around Iran. And what brought us to conclusion was what we saw in Ukraine. Our commitment to the Iranian nation stays the same. Our commitment to the Iranian government was that our technology and what it brings should not cross the borders of Iran. We never been aggressive for 300 years. And
thank you very much. So now we hear and we see this delivering, this spreading all over the world. This accommodates the connection, and we should be realizing that everyone who was inside there becomes a multiplier. If we are in the system, we give, and this system is the sum of all that it had, the input is done, and now we're spreading it and we're multiplying this spreading. So this will bring a big change. And I can promise you, I was in the system, I felt how it is, and it will be beautiful. This all one city, one center is the base, the fundament of spreading. And Mr. Keshe says, the more I get through this door and in the system, the more it spreads, the faster it spreads. And I think this world needs it right now. So thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Jaco. Thank you. Beautiful clip, always. And anybody wants to share, any beautiful soul wants to share their sharing, you know, what they feel about this, what is their experience or what they manifest out of this. Please welcome, my beautiful souls.
Well, we did have a hand up with Salamia here, so perhaps we can hear from her.
Thank you very much, Rick. I have a question for you, Rick. Could you explain why our unit was for the contest in defense and security? If they ask you why, and if it was something, some criteria which our unit fulfill, I wanted to ask you many times, but maybe it's better to ask Mr. Keshe, I don't know. Anyway, and in final, I have a wish that our leaders from Russia will stop as soon as possible the conflict. This is the only solution. Negotiation doesn't work for the moment. I wish they will be wise, as Russian people are. They have wisdom. They have a lot of writers and artists, and their culture is full of peace and love. Just to get inspiration and get peace at the soul level from our Universal Council and from all people interested in peace. This is a wish from Romanian community. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Salomia. I will say that I welcome you. I will say that the wish, as you wished, as we say, the wish should be, well, this is the wish, I am present. But then the world leaders, those who are involved in this type of situation, they all should be elevated, you know, all those who are in this situation. Maybe some are in a way calming down the situation. Some are raising it, and there was NATO, there was Ukraine, Zelensky, and all, Biden, and all them, Israel, and all the matters that matters, Iran. So we say all the leaders of all nations should be elevated and should be in the moment, in the negotiations of peace, and they should be in peace for the benefit of all. So thank you, Salomia, and thank you so much. I am present.
Thank you so much. Yes, you are right. This is the right way to wish, to make a wish.
Thank you, my dear.
Yes, thank you.
In answer to your first question about the contest, actually, that I'll have to explain to people what your question is even about, because many people won't know. So this was the entry in this year's Create the Future Design Contest, which is put on by the same people that produce NASA content, and is partly sponsored by NASA. But they have other sponsors that are in the information industry and devices and that kind of thing. In any case, I put the entry of the Universal Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit into the aerospace and defense category, because it is an aerospace device, basically, in its final manifestation, and even in the manifestations that it is now, with people going to the moon and the sun and wherever they wish to in the flight training. So it was I put it in aerospace and defense because I wanted to make an impact in that sector and let them know that basically the aerospace and defense sector is obsolete when we look at the attributes of this unit. And some of the writing says it's a revolutionary concept in space travel and space medicine and space technology. And about the principle of flight through positive positioning and inertia-free propulsion, achieved through the creation of magnetic gravitational field force interactions, and so on and so forth. All these incredible claims that blows away the entire aerospace and defense industry as we know it. So this, in a way, this unit is like a time bomb that, if it was implemented, would actually destroy the aerospace and defense industry, because there would be no need for the use of bombs and weapons and so on. When you have a defensive position that can create fields, then that can be a whole different way. If all areas have defensive fields, then the offensive weapons are no longer useful. They're no longer can be used. They don't work. So this, in a way, is the ultimate peace device, in a way. I even include here, I mentioned that the worldwide market potential for such flight units is obviously in the multi-trillions of dollars. More importantly, in this case, the flight enhancement spaceship units are created for the elevation and benefit of all people of Earth and offered in exchange for world peace. Signing of the Keshe Foundation's World Peace Treaty as part of the agreement negotiations for those who wish to obtain use of the flight enhancement spaceship units. So this is like, that statement itself is very inflammatory in terms of entering into a aerospace and defense category in a way, that the signing of a peace treaty is part of the negotiations for those who wish to use the flight enhancement spaceship units. So that might explain why they basically ignored the Keshe Foundation's, through the Keshe Foundation Canada, through me and the Keshe Foundation Canada is the way I did it. So it wasn't directly from Mr. Keshe, so they wouldn't kick it out automatically. But somehow between what this unit is and the association with Mr. Keshe and the Keshe Foundation and so on, as he's the co-partner in this entry, then if we go to, well, first of all, if we look at the number of votes, the popular vote this year from the people, which is not the judges, but just the people, we get number 3, the Universal Flight Enhancement Unit was number 3 out of hundreds and hundreds of entries. We got enough votes to be number 3, which is pretty good. And we have a number of runners up here, 100 other runners up, or no, there's hundreds of them, 162 altogether. Okay, so we did well there. We look at the number of page views, and we were a little lower than I expected on that. Somehow these people got a really high page views. So we get down to number 6 here, I think it is. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, we're number 7, it looks like, on the page views, which is still respectable. And so we did fairly well in the page views, number 3 in the votes. So you'd think that that would be a significant entry. But then when we go to the grand prize and category winners, we didn't get the grand prize. We didn't even place in the aerospace and defense category of the, we didn't get number 1 or any of the 4 honorable mentions in the aerospace and defense industry. So I thought, well, okay, they're ignoring us once again. And furthermore, this was the most stunning thing. And this is a real disgrace to this contest, in my estimation. The top 10 most popular entries, which we were already number 3 in, which I just showed you, we were number 3 in the most popular entries. They took us out of the contest most popular entries. You don't see it in the list here. You see all the other ones in the list, except for number 10 here, which wasn't in the list to start with. It was number 11, and they bumped number 11 up to the number 10 position. And they took out the Universal Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit. So I wasn't really happy about that. And that's, I think, for whatever reason, maybe it was because of the Iranian connection, because they're not allowed to have Iranian contacts and connections in their contest. It's part of the rules. That's why I entered from Canada as a Canadian Keshe Foundation. But the name Keshe is not well received with this contest, which is unfortunate for them, because we became a large part of the contest with all the excitement and you know, the votes and the page views. People are obviously interested in it. yet the judges actually ignored. They have like a panel of 30 judges from all of these high-tech companies. And somehow either they were told or decided amongst themselves or individually that the flight enhancement spaceship unit wasn't worth addressing. It wasn't worth being in their fancy contest. So go to the final voting scoreboard. Even though we're in that, we're not in the actual description of the last part of the actual contest winners and the votes itself and all of that, and the 10 most popular entries we were taken out of that. So I thought that was quite interesting. And that's the story on the Create the Future design contest. Obviously, we just have to create our own future. And that may not include the members of this group. If they don't wish to participate, that's their loss. They lose out on development and will be essentially decades behind.
Yes, you just showed them the biggest commercialization of a technology that's about to come into every aspect of our lives. But you certainly got them talking there, Rick, at the highest levels, I'm sure.
They must be. They must be. Some of them are asking, why do we have to ban this? Why is it something that, then maybe they'll look into it and become more interested or defect from their little organization even. So you never know what the repercussions will be for something like this. And I didn't have the highest expectations, nor did Mr. Keshe with this, because we know that there's parts of NASA that refuses to accept the Keshe Foundation, and there's other parts that are open and do accept. And some of the members, high members of NASA, are, associates of Mr. Keshe, or at least think highly of him. So
yes, he mentioned they're getting briefed every week in very much detail, even more than the knowledge seekers, about what's happening in the flight test at the very, very highest levels, or a division of NASA, as I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much, Rick, for your answer.
Yeah, that's the details.
Yes, lovely answer. I'd like to add something to remember Star Wars, that during the Cold War, instead of having a fire war, it was a Star War. I mean, investing in space research and development. And I think that in this paradigm of thinking, Mr. Keshe created this space aerospace unit, fly unit, that is still going on, this Star Wars. I mean, investing in the technology to investigate the cosmos and the air, I mean, the space. And it was a good example that this plasma science gives us the opportunity to investigate the space without spending a lot of money on what Elon Musk created, utilizing this material, burning material. I mean, energy from burning our resources, terrestrial resources. It's not the way, as Mr. Keshe said, and we all believe. And I'd like to inform you that our Ministry of Defense just resigned today. Today is the day of the army in Romania. And he resigned because he was in favor of negotiation of NATO and USA in the name of Ukraine with Russia, and to involve all international players and leaders, political leaders, on these negotiations. And Elon Musk also had the same solution to have a negotiation, to negotiate peace.
Unfortunately, it's illegal in Ukraine to do that. You're not allowed to even talk about peace in Ukraine. Literally, you can be put in jail for it.
Yes, you are right. And this Zelensky just answered to Musk that we cannot talk about negotiation because Russia is a terrorist state and never want to negotiate, and they will not be serious and so on. But our Minister of Defense, he had this solution, and like Elon Musk. And in Romania, our president, with the chiefs of the army, he interpreted the answer of Zelensky to Musk that it was the answer of Zelensky to our prime minister, Minister of Defense. But it wasn't true. It was to Elon Musk, the answer. And you are right, Rick. Yes, they do not want to talk about negotiation, and this is not very good. I don't know.
Well, the diplomat from Ukraine was much more direct and just said F you with the full word rather than the F to Elon Musk. That was the diplomatic response, the literal diplomatic response from Ukraine. They do not want peace. They're not interested in peace. The government there is not interested at all in peace. They will win, or they will, quote, die to the last Ukrainian. So they're willing to sacrifice all of their people for their cause. So that's got to say something about their cause. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yes. And we have
we don't want to get too much into the
Yeah.
politics of things.
Yes. And now Romanians are very scared because it was a bomb, and it was a dialogue between Russia and Russian, not prime minister, foreign affairs minister and foreign affairs of USA about this primitive bomb. It's an ordinary bomb, but utilizing radioactive material, small particles. And everybody can use it because it's not expensive and you can create it and so on. And Ukrainian Russians said that they have this Ukrainian and they will use in the Black Sea. And it's it's at 300 kilometers forward from Romania and from the towns, from cities from Romania. So we are very, very much concerned with these primitive bombs, if it is true. Russia just informed USA at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs level about these facts. And other people said that Russia had this ordinary bomb, but utilizing radioactive material.
Yeah, they're both blaming each other for it now, and it's both a scare tactic and made to make people feel scared, like you're describing how you feel scared right now from this information.
Yeah.
So this is part of the misinformation that's put out by both sides to make the other sides feel scared. So you can buy into that, or you can elevate yourself to the point where we can give from our soul and not be afraid and take whatever consequences are coming as they come, rather than what we are told in the media or the way we're being conditioned as a culture to, accept war and that kind of thing. We don't have to accept it. We don't have to accept that. We can create our own new world. And that's what, as I just described, we have to create our own new world that doesn't include those factors and includes ways to deal with such factors. We already have the technology to do cleanup of nuclear if necessary, and there's actually technology to defuse, block, and otherwise stop the bombing technologies as far as that goes ultimately. And it's a matter of, do we have the wherewithal to implement it? Is it time to implement it yet and show the technology in its true form? Maybe we have to allow the humans to play out this scenario first.
You mentioned here, Rick, and I remember in the past when I heard Mr. Keshe put it in different ways, but he said mankind would accept this technology not out of the love of it, but out of the fear of their own demise. So perhaps this point is part of this.
Definitely.
If we live in a dream, we can choose to create as Rick said, to create a nice, lovely, beautiful dream, not a nightmare, as other people would like to create. I think is in our hands of the soul and eyes of the soul to create this. That's why I am with you, because we are so powerful at the soul level, and our soul is so pure and strong, and we can create the dream, as Rick said, which is the best dream for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Salomia. And I will say, my dear Rick, as Salomia, as that this is, there will be no nuclear war. They cannot do that. This is obsolete now, as the peace talks are going on and everybody has to be in peace. And this time, these people cannot destroy humanity. We have to cross, we have to fill the cycle, we have to go to the cycle, and we have to transmute. How can it be possible? It is when there is no war, no conflict anymore. So here I will say about the enhancement unit that was in the contest, my dear Rick, as we all, us has voted for that, with our heart and soul. And this is the way things enhance, when we say it melts down to us that we wanted this, the need of us, not the leaders. If they become us, then that is fulfilled their dreams also. And they should understand that and no way there will be a nuclear war. We cannot allow that. So this time we are talking about life and living. And this will be, in a way, understanding the universal knowledge. How can it be possible that they will destroy this? No, not at all. So I will say, Salomia, that peace is here. The universal civilization is here with us, as always was. And we understood that. And there is no way they create this war anymore, but as they always does that from eons. So this time no prayers allowed. So thank you. And anybody else wants to share anything about this? About the, yeah.
I just want to say read the comments from Jacko in the chat here. One is, let's focus on solutions, which is a good thing to consider. And of course, his lovely phrase that he came up with, don't hesitate, elevate.
Yes,
So,
of course.
don't get stuck in all the
Yeah.
mass media and all the things that are going on in the world. Just don't hesitate, just immediately elevate. And then that's it. You elevate the situation, elevate others, and you know, carry on your day. Basically, that's a lovely T-shirt, Jacko. Don't hesitate, elevate. I like it.
Yes, of course, Jacko. We have to elevate to create peace. Of course, my dear Rick. Thank you. And
I think that is the focus we should have. And then I would like to add something. When you're driving a car and there comes an obstacle in front of you, I had this theme a few weeks ago. If you focus on the obstacle, you will hit it with your car. And if you focus beside the obstacle, everything in your body will bring you and the car beside the obstacle. So where do we put our focus on? On the device, on the problems, or do we on the solutions? And I think this is one of the key points Universal Council stands for, that we show, we live the solutions. Mr. Keshe offers them, but we have to use it, we have to set it, else it will not happen. And this is also where the satellites come into play. Our network focuses on the solutions for humanity and beyond. And the other things, everyone can choose which focus he wants. And if they want to focus the device, then they can. We do not judge them, but we offer the possibility to have this other view. And I ask you, all of you, please focus on the solutions, because that is our way. Everything else around us, we cannot influence, we cannot change. So don't put your energy there, because all the energy you put there, you cannot put on the right solutions. It's our choice. We have to decide, and we can, because Mr. Keshe is offering, but it's up to us. And this don't hesitate, elevate. You can make the T-shirts, Rick. I take the wind of it.
Okay. Yeah, because you got to get the spelling right. It's hesitate, HESITATE.
Okay. That's because I'm not a native. But thank you.
But it would probably be equivalent in German or Dutch or other languages as well. There must be equivalent phrases in every language. You know, don't. It's a philosophy in a way, or a viewpoint, yes, to not hesitate. I've heard
beginning
also.
Of December, I plan to go to Linz to meet also Mr. Keshe, and I will suggest him another part for the shop. So thank you.
I wanted to also mention the idea of elevation. I mean, we say to elevate others and to elevate, you know, we send our unconditional love and so on as an elevation process. But as Mr. Keshe has said, and we have said also in this group before and with the members of the Universal Council, that it's important to realize that one has to elevate oneself first in order to elevate others. So it's a two-part process in a way. We have to be in that state of elevation in order to elevate others. So it's a great way to go to give, and we have to be in that position to be able to give in order to give. So we may not always be in that position if we're bogged down in, negative emotion or problems and issues and so on that come up during life. And but if we can raise ourselves up enough, just enough to be able to give to others, to elevate others, to allow them that energy, then that is a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. And you make the intention to help and the intention to elevate, and that process elevates oneself as well to be able to get to that position to actually be able to give that burst of field strength to others and other situations. Oh, thank you, Johnny.
Hello.
That's a really nice phrase there. Attention, intention, and emotion centered in the elevation of the soul and souls. Thank you, Johnny. Go ahead, Mehran. Hello, Mehran. Don't hear you anymore. I think your microphone went dead.
Rick, is Dean here? May I interject and say a few things?
Sure.
So looking at the image on the screen right now, I think it's interesting that star formation of Linz, Tehran, and Arizona, and the UC and the sperm of the UC, the interaction of the Universal Council with the units centralized on the planet, bringing about a new generation of children of the soul. The children on the planet Earth need the protection the most. They're new, fresh, inspiring, willing, and want to learn and experience everything in the moment. And they need nourishing from the moment, in fact, before the moment, as Mr. Keshe would say, from the grandmother in the wish for a daughter or son to have this beautiful child. So the love starts from that moment, and even maybe before, generations before. And this carries forward. And now with the Universal Council present, the souls of the universal condition, that is souls beyond comprehension of humanity. Humanity seems to stick within the walls, within the environment of planet Earth, the thoughts and intentions. And when they expand out, breathe out into the universal conditions, then you can only imagine intention, thought process of the amount of souls that can be present in the moment when the Universal Council come together with the units placed around the planet. We dare not speak most of the time about the children and the injustices that have happened to the children of planet Earth. Like many of the things that we speak about here, we're not allowed to speak. Though in our thoughts and intentions, we give unconditionally for all the children of humanity to be at peace in this very moment. And when we connect our heart and soul, our thoughts and intentions into this interaction of fields in this moment, then all the other interactions fade away. Intention and focus if you just focus into the middle of this particular image right now, with your eyes open, with your eyes closed, just your thought and intention to give to the children, to protect them, to nourish them, enhance, and bring about a condition where they have a loving, peaceful environment to exist and be part of in this very moment. And then all this other interaction, though we have to be part of it, we don't have to focus on it and intensify it in this very moment. Thank you all. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear Dean. I'm present. Beautiful.
Thank you, Sweta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. You hear me? Okay. Well, I lost a little bit. I was at the end of the news by Salimir, and I thought, like Jaco, that we are in the one nation, one peace, one planet. Before, we only knew the materialistic life, most of us, and we were kind of tolerating and in kind of prison of what we were offered. Mr. Keshe comes and brings us the universal creation knowledge, even though it might have been before, but maybe that's the last time we have been offered this chance. And we learn about the cosmos, the space, the infinite big space, and the ethics, how to go out and live. The ethics on planet Earth is not suitable to travel outside. They know how to discourage us. So let's talk about peace before any travelings. So now we know we are not just a body. We are not what they were telling us. We have this soul, and the soul is not something that only the religious people go and ponder and explain to us what it is, what we should do, what we should not do, and there's no other choice. The thing is, we are learning kind of physiology of the soul. We are learning what belongs to us, not anybody else. It's us who puts the frontier for our thoughts, for our soul. And Mr. Keshe said, if you follow the ethics, well, I'm saying unconditional love. I know it's a new word for many. I'm not talking about service. It's new for many, but I'm at least talking about not steal, not kill, and be kind. And when we do that, our soul becomes strong. The fields of our soul become stronger than when we were burying the soul with not correct actions and thoughts and talkings. I'm not perfect. We're not yet perfect, thanks God. So we have time to become better. The thing is, we do what we can do. Everyone has a talent in one way or the other. Rick knows how to manage the workshops. Somebody knows and is talented to teach. Somebody is good in communication. And somebody is good maybe in emotion, art, or soul, or whatever. And we have to. We have no choice but to work, all of us together. And as said my friend Jaco, we are not anymore in what they put for us in TV, radio. I mean, I don't go to news in general. We are creator of the news. We are having our words to say, the word we want. And for the children is the children of all of us. I cannot be with no reaction when the child of somebody else is suffering. So we are trying to go to a new world of no communities, no countries, no religions, all in one as a planet, as one planet. So, in this world, we learn how to use our souls as far as it can go and create the news. We can affect the soul of those who can create news. We can push them towards the soul. And when we push the soul, the spirit, the bad things go to the smaller and smaller space. There is no space for wrong. We are peaceful because we just become bigger in peace and goodwill for everybody. So the wrong finds not any more place to affect us. So that's the new word. One peace, one nation, different beautiful languages, different beautiful characters, talents. And so that's the new word. And I thank Mr. Keshe to be so patient with us, to bring us to the level that, for example, at 9 p.m. European time, we can connect our souls and raise the souls of politics, raise the soul of religious leaders, and etc., etc. So that's a wonderful improvement. We are not warriors anymore. We don't want to win on countries. So what's the worth of it at the end? We leave, how much do we leave to use all that money we can gather? So that's a good news. And I thank everybody who has participated, is participating, because we get the power with each other, with soul of each other, and with the goodwill of everybody. And I'm grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Mehrnaz. Thank you so much for beautiful words. Anybody else want to say anything? Share anything about this One City, One Center?
A little bit. Perhaps, you know, we have been talking about a little bit about this fear associated with the nuclear warfare. We are beginning to understand how far we can go with our soul. Now, there has been demonstration at the physical level in one of the bases in Iraq of creating shielding, where you can keep things out of a region or keep things out within a region. Weapon systems. And there was discussion about what happened in that US military base in Iraq. So that is a demonstration of how to contain this kind of things, the effects of armament, missile system, nuclear radiation, which we are also talking right now about doing it for when there is a reactor bridge in a nuclear power plant. So these kind of things you can contain, and contain within a small region, or keep them outside of a region that you want to protect. So these are no longer, even at the physical level, no longer a threat. Yes, there is an attempt to create fear. That's to weaken us so that we don't engage not these shields, but the even more powerful shield of the soul. The shield that we can create with our soul, Mr. Keshe talked about in the last workshop, I think the last or the one before last, about his experience with an accident, and he was in an accident and nothing happened. So a shield was created and it protected him. Now, and I heard, this was in, I think Rick's Reactor group meeting. Doug was talking about an accident when he was young, and it was like a very big accident on Doug McDonald in Australia. He was riding on his bike down the hill very fast, and there was an accident, and he flipped over the handlebar of the bike, and he just got up. Now, there were some onlookers, and they thought he's dead. Now, after he told the story, and he said, I was fortunate not to get hurt. But then I said, okay, look, Doug, you may want to give yourself some credit. You may have created the shield which protected you from that fall over the handlebar that you did. You were young. You had, you don't have as many hang-ups as we do when we grow up. So, you just, you created your shield, protected yourself, and got up, and no scratch, nothing on your body. So it's the same thing, whether we do it at the individual level or whether we do it at the level of community, at the level of a planet. Perhaps our task is to do it for things even further, beyond the planetary confine. We're just getting ready. So let's engage our soul as Doug had done, as Mr. Keshe had done. And I mean, there are many others. This is not an unknown story. Very common people have this kind of stories. And especially the young ones and those who are a little bit more aware of these kind of capacities within ourselves. Now we are all aware. We're all becoming aware of it. And let's transmit with our developing capacity this understanding of extending our fields to protect ourselves, our loved ones. Now, who are our loved ones? Everybody on this planet. And beyond. So this capacity to extend a shield, yeah, it can be done at the physical level with plasma technology that we know so well. But it's time we can also engage the same capacity of extending our shields wherever we may choose to. Even we can think in terms of the transportation unit. We have our envelope of the soul that we create, and then we move that envelope somewhere else and manifest. This is the transportation technology in the enhancement unit. Now, imagine somewhere in some village in Ukraine, there was a nuclear accident, whether it's a power plant, missile, whatever, it doesn't matter. We can create this shield and place it there. All the people there are protected. Do we need to fear? The fear is well beyond this shielding. So is the fear that is preventing us from extending our shielding. So let us, use this opportunity in practice, not just from nuclear, weapon, but from worldly conditioning that have been inflicted upon us for such a long time, and extend our shield. The shield so that we are no longer in fear, but in peace, and which in turns become prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear Moshfik. The peace which becomes prosperity. So beautiful, so kind and beautiful words. Indeed, we need to elevate, as Jacko said, elevate, don't hesitate. Indeed, this is the way our fields work. We have to give love in a way. It's all the condition that is. Love is the most needed. Thank you. Thank you so much. Here you can see the email of sales@kfm.global. Anyone can be, has an email to Krasimir from our UC from Bulgaria, and he will answer about your need. Don't be a consumer, my dear. Be in the need if there is a need. And we are kind. We will feel the kindness from within you. Thank you so much. This is the one city, one center, my dear. That is always in the beauty of this new human cycle, where equality and peace is the most important thing. So this has to be in a way life and living will be in the next phase of humanity. So thank you. Rick, can we go to the next slide? Here I will call is Dean. You are still here, my dear Dean?
Hi, Shweta. Yes, I'm still present.
This is a call for you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta. Okay, so Sunday at 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. Sorry, 6 p.m. CEST. This is a call to all knowledge seekers. Let's together create the peace dome all over the planet. Use the plasma water from your cups of life. One and two to make the plasmatic spraying. So this condition, for knowledge seekers that have GANs and GANs waters and have their heart and soul focused on intensifying the field and adding to the beauty of the field strength that surrounds the planet in this very moment. They can use the plasmatic waters and the GANs of the matter state that they have produced with the consciousness that they intentionally give into this matter state nano solid gas. And if you remember, we are a collection of gases, very intelligent gases apparently. Then we can, with our soul, connect, and we can use our intentions and thoughts in a plasmatic condition to give to others, to give to the environment, to spread the plasma waters all across this planet, to reach each and every being, each and every soul, to receive the love and care that they require in this moment as an energy transfer. When it becomes to the point where you give as a person, the smallest little thing can be a smile, a thought that goes out, becomes part of the consciousness of all, and then becomes part of the field strength that manifests right here on the planet. We're all consciously involved in this as one. Every single thought, every single interaction filters through to one another. And if it's all giving and taking, and if the environment grows around the field strength, that becomes everything that there should be for you in this moment. You receive back from all the other beings and souls that connect to as one with you, for you to receive an energy. And this can be, as I said, from one person to a community, a nation, and a planet. When we open ourselves up and allow the interaction to actually intensify within inside ourselves, that plasmatic condition, that breath, that plasmatic wind, which is a thought and intention, be a breath, goes out, and we all, in the matter state, in this physical planet, we all breathe in the same air and exhale the same air. So we all give and share amongst ourselves as being part of the planet. And then when we add that condition, that plasmatic condition, with the knowledge of the knowledge seekers of the foundation, and many people now across the planet have come to understand the sheer beauty they have as a soul, as a being, to be able to communicate in zero-time communication with any other soul, any other being. So you can give that plasmatic condition, that call to all knowledge seekers, because that's each and every single one of us. That's you. As you hear this voice, you receive a field strength of that plasmatic condition of spraying across the planet for peace in this very moment. I don't know if you can hear that bell behind me ringing, but it seems to be ringing out for peace within the heart and soul of mankind. So this call to all knowledge seekers to create a peace dome, which you can start with creating around yourself. And then with the thoughts, you can amplify it out to your loved ones. And then beyond, to each and every single soul, being, person, creature, however you would like to describe, however it is correct for you in this very moment. So, knowledge seekers, thank you for the beauty of you and everything that you've achieved and everything you do in each and every moment across the globe, across the planet, the sphere of planet Earth. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sweta.
Thank you, my dear dean. Thank you for your beautiful and cosmic voice. Thank you. And I will say that the spraying is going on, and be in this water, delve in this water, swim in this water, and feel the love. And you know, this is the time. This is the reign of this beauty. All are spraying, and we are dancing in these waters, you know, like that. This is outstanding. And I will say, when I was spraying, the spray was coming on me also. And as I felt that spraying, you know, when I was moving in the township and I was spraying, the spray comes on me also. And I felt that the complete a kind of ocean around me, the beauty and the pathway in it. So feel this, understand this, my dear. Thank you so much. Spread your soul. For now, this is very important. And as Marshvik said, spread your love. That is the most important thing. Whatever the word is love, the feeling is love, the emotion is love, and then what it is. So there's a sharing from my dear Gyanini that in the chat that hi all, if you agree, at the end of the bus, I would like to share an experience lived in donating plasma seeds and seeds with a soul. Thanks. You are welcome, Gyani, my dear, you're welcome. Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, should we do that now, or is there a Mojan thing you want to do first, or should we do that?
Well, I will say if Gyani want to share, that will be most beautiful. We can skip the Mojan if
Okay.
Gyani wants to. Oh, thank you.
Johnny, are you there? He may need a, let me get him in. I have to bring him in as a panelist so he can show us things and be able to talk. Okay, you're in now, Gianni. And do you have a translator with you?
Yes, Rick. Hi, everyone.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, thank you,
¿Qué tal,
John.
Gianni?
Bueno, aquí estamos y gracias a todos.
Here we are, and thank you all.
Quiero compartir una experiencia maravillosa que he vivido el sábado.
I would like to share a fabulous experience I had last Saturday.
Este sábado hemos regalado plasma, semillas de plasma, en un grupo que se llama Semillas del Alma.
This last Saturday, we have shared seeds and plasma with a very nice group named Plasma Group.
Y aquí hemos decidido crear algo que no existe en ese mundo.
And we have decided to create something which hasn't been done before.
Un grupo donde se regala semillas del plasma.
A group which we are going to give away a lot of seeds which have been treated with plasma.
He enviado ese video a Rick.
I have sent this video over to Rick.
Porque mi sueño ya está cumplido.
Because my dream has already been accomplished.
Pudo ver y sentir almas que algunas regalaban, otras recibían sin tener ninguna pretensión.
I could feel that a lot of souls were giving away and others were receiving, and all with very good intention.
La emoción fue tan fuerte que muchos de nosotros hemos empezado a llorar.
Strong, many of us started crying.
Y eso porque hemos comprendido que si hemos visto como todos regalan a todos.
And this is because we have comprehended comprehended and seen how everybody gives what they have at hand. Everybody.
Tanta emoción vivida que ni puedo exprimir en palabras, pero lo sé que podéis sentir.
This is the emotions are so strong, it's very difficult to express in words, but you can feel it.
Es la primera vez cuando lo he vivido con tanta intensidad.
It's the first time I have lived through something with such a big intensity.
Y digamos, para alcanzar esa emoción, la puerta fue abierta de una niña.
And to reach this intensity, the door was opened by a young girl.
Los del grupo Semillas del Alma regalan las semillas que conocemos en la fisicalidad.
This group, Seeds from the Soul, give away these seeds prepared with ganses and all the plasma and intention.
Nosotros de 4 años estamos regalando los ganses, el conocimiento y las semillas que ya están plasmatizadas de 4 años.
For the last 4 years, we have been giving away all this knowledge, the seeds and teachings, so all this can prosper with all the people we meet.
Los niños que han llegado a ese encuentro, todos han visto el plasma del principio.
The kids that have been present have seen how the plasma is produced ever since the beginning.
Nosotros tenemos en la mesa los recipientes con plasma y regalamos solo a los que lo pueden ver. Y pregunta por ella.
On our tables, we have a lot of things with plasma, and we only give away to the people that can really see through this energy which is on the table.
Y niña ha preguntado con preguntas tan simples y sinceras.
And young girls have asked different questions in a very sincere way.
Y han generado con su emoción campos tan fuertes que por un momento se han parado todos.
And thoughts and sayings have been so intense and strong that people have sort of been ecstatic at what she said.
Y todos se acercaron a nosotros para recibir el cuento del alma y del plasma.
And all of them have come together to listen to the story of the soul and the plasma.
Se han hecho muchos artículos ese sábado y también interviews para hablar del plasma.
And many articles have been written this last Saturday of this event.
Mi sueño fue ver eso en la Universidad de Agronomía y ya está hecho.
My dream was to see this in the agriculture university, and my dream has become true.
Como podéis ver, Ayeta tiene los anillos en las manos, en la cabeza, porque para nosotros así es natural.
And you can see Jetta wearing the different bracelets and rings produced with Gans water, and that's the way we live.
Utilizamos la pulverizadora que ya es como parte de nosotros.
And we also use the spray gun, which is already a part of us.
Y el plasma ya lo tenemos en nuestros bolsillos como el equipo que lo llevamos siempre con nosotros.
And we also have a plasma in our pockets, which is part of our garments.
Pues lo más importante que hemos vivido es el regalo del conocimiento, la emoción del conocimiento.
And the most important thing is we are giving away this knowledge to all these people.
Eso quería compartir, os agradezco para todos que hacéis y todos que hacemos juntos.
I wanted to share this with all of you, and I know you're all doing this together also.
He visto la paz y la paz ya está hecho. Thank you.
I have seen the peace, and the peace is already ongoing. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Gyani. Thank you, Gianni. So much love. You always share so much beauty you have done. What I can say, I have no words to say. Thank you, my dear. Thank you for sharing so much inspiration. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute, my dear. And I will say that these are inspiration for all of us. As we can do, we can start from a seed, a cup, or even a bracelet, or even a small packet of plasma. So this is the beauty we have, you know. And thank you, my dear, for sharing this beauty. And gracias, gracias, gracias. Thank you. And now we can go to the next slide, my dear Rick. If this is, I mean, here, yeah. Anyone, this brings the needs and wishes from your community to the Universal Council as One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. Anybody else want to, any beautiful soul want to share anything more? As Gyani has shared so much beauty, he always does. I always hear him in a way, not looking at, but hear his voice and sharing. Thank you. And anybody else? Beautiful souls want to share?
Thank you. I had a wish on the chat for the children. I don't know if it's read because I was not. Otherwise, I read it. And it goes, we give from our souls to raise, to protect all children anywhere. And so I wanted to say to Gianni, that is the arm we win with. We don't need rifles. With this plasma and giving plasma and using plasma, that's how we will win. Thank you. We will win the peace.
I am present, my dear Mehrnas. I am present.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Now we can go to if there is no another sharing, it's a wrap-up time. If anybody wants to share anything
Can
more.
I just quickly say something? Just one
yes.
small little thing I'd just like to say to Mehran. It's not how, it's we have in this moment. Thank you, Mehran. Thank you, Swati.
I think maybe Andreas had something he wanted to say. Or was that did I see the microphone open, Andreas? Or?
It was a mistake. Thank you to everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you, my dear Dean. Now we can go to the next slide, my dear Rick. Yeah, here is the key for all universal souls, as we are all universal souls. We are here to serve, not to be served. This is the conduct we have to follow. We have to be in the Universal Council. Thank you. And I say again, my beautiful souls, welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam into the beautiful and the beauty and totality of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. Welcome to the beautiful energy of all universal souls all over. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, thank you, Sweta, and thank you to all the members of the Universal Council and others who participated today. Nice hearing from Gianni here as well. This has been the 245th One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice, here on Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. And we look forward to the next public teaching workshop, which is the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, which I hold every week for the last decade or so. And people are welcome to join, and you can bring whatever topic you would like, and we will try to transform it into something plasmatic and work with it in some manner to spread the knowledge for everyone. Okay, and that starts tomorrow. That's Wednesday, October 26th, starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time. And we usually go for 5 or 6 hours in that program. Okay, I think we have Marie's TV Galactica as well to announce, which should be at 10 p.m. Central European Time on the TV Galactica channels found on YouTube and Facebook.
So, Galactic Being, what about some dance?
All right, that's the part that you look forward to every week. We all do.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, Sweta.
Thank
yes,
you.
We'll have the flight enhancement spaceship unit music version to go out with here. So once again, thank you all for attending today's workshop, and see you next time around. Bye for now.